Hi everybody, it's Michael here from Everything Cryptocurrencies, and today we just want to bring you a quick and easy video on our perspective on what we have seen as of late. Current market conditions are offering a tasty opportunity, and we just want to give you some clarity and kind of make you see things positively as how we see things. So right now, currently the time of shooting this video, the last 24 hours we have seen Bitcoin give or take correct around 7%. As you can see here, BTC's market dominance is around 39%, and the entire market cap for all cryptocurrencies combined is over $330 billion. So why did we decide to do this video? We decided to do this video because now, currently at the time of shooting this video, we have seen a nice pullback correction on Bitcoin. As you guys should be aware of by now from our content and your own research, hopefully, you must understand by now that Bitcoin holds the key to the entire market. And what we mean by this is, whenever market moves, if it corrects or rallies to the upside, the whole market tends to follow suit. Obviously, we have certain market cycles that when we have the Bitcoin cycle, the bullish cycle, the bearish cycle, and many other cycles that present itself in the crypto market. However, this video will not be about market cycles, and we will not be giving that information away. Unfortunately, we've spent a lot of time and researching these things, so we're not just going to give it away entirely. Also, I just wanted to go through a few news stories, a few headline news stories that we've seen as of late and from a few months back. And I just want to give you everybody, our perspective on what we should expect to see for the rest of the year. And why we want to, and another reason why we want to be showing you these and give you our perspective is that 2018, believe it or not, there has not been a lot of growth in terms of overall market cap and price movements and price action, because we've been moving very sideways, stagnant since January, the start of this year. However, in our opinion, behind the scenes there has been a lot going on. So the first news story I just want to quickly touch on is this one here. So Goldman Sachs backed Circle Invest app launches a new feature for market newbies. So if you was not aware, Coinbase has launched a new 4-coin index fund which was open to accredited investors only. So this, just to put it quite bluntly, was Coinbase are attempting to target the rich population of the entire world. They probably feel that they can get more benefit from enticing these type of people. However, on the other hand, Goldman Sachs fund Circle Internet, they has launched a new feature for its crypto investment app called Circle Invest. And what their aim is to make it easier for newbies to enter the crypto market. So first things first, the coins that they currently or will be supporting are Bitcoin, of course, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, Zcash, and Monero. Obviously, why this is very good news for for the whole entire ecosystem and the whole entire crypto space is that apps like Robinhood app and also these guys, Circle, what they are attempting to do is they are attempting to make it easier for everyday users, everyday investors to get involved in the cryptocurrency market. So one feature they do have is Circle have the buy the market option, which enables for potential investors to split their investments, which can be as little as $1. So what this will do is it would invest in more of the one coin, and they can split, and it enables them to split the option for all coins that are listed rather than investing into one coin. So sort of like an index, sort of what Coinbase what they have attempted to do. What a lot of these institutions and these new these new companies and these new exchanges, these new these new apps, what they are attempting to do is they are trying to make the crypto world more appealing. By making the crypto world more appealing, they want to basically wrap it up with cotton wool and entice a lot of new investors. By enticing a lot of new investors, one of the hesitation that a lot of people have, which is very understandable as investors, is they believe the crypto market is far too volatile. Yes, the crypto market is far too volatile. There are many fors and against as to why this is the case. We're not going to get into that because this video is not about that. However, what we are starting to see, and what we will always see year by year and year after year in our ecosystem, is that we will see a lot of these companies attempting to entice new money to come into the space to basically help the space and move forward. Second news story I just want to quickly touch on is Goldman Sachs again launching a new cryptocurrency. They are calling this cryptocurrency the Circle USD coin. This coin is the first cryptocurrency released by a major financial institution. While obviously this goes against the point of decentralization, such as like Bitcoin, Goldman Sachs and Circle help to bring some stability to the cryptocurrency market. So again, as this news story suggests, Goldman Sachs and Circle are hoping to bring stability to the crypto market. So what they want to do is they want to entice a certain type of investor. By enticing a certain type of investor, we know more volume, more liquidity, and potentially more volatility will come into this market. So again, Circle and Goldman Sachs, these big institutions, they are coming together and they are trying to entice a new type of investor. So a lot of people have shouted and screamed to us and said that the crypto market is dead, nothing is going on. Since Bitcoin had tested the all-time high of over $19,500 US, nothing has happened in this market. However, if you follow our content on Instagram, if you follow on our content in our previous videos that we've made on YouTube, you will understand that the hands that be, the elites that control this whole entire market, they are just waiting for the right time to pull the trigger. And what we mean by pulling the trigger is that if they want to drive the price down, which is what they are currently doing, they will drive it down. They have the resources, they have the power. Believe it or not, they can do whatever they want in this market. If they want to drive the price up, which is what we should see in the next few months, they can do it. They can do whatever they want. And to be honest with you, unfortunately right now, we can connect the dots. We can use our technical analysis in alignment with our fundamental analysis. However, if anyone was to say to you they knew what was going to happen next in this market every single day for the next year, they would be lying. This market is uncontrollable. However, if we can connect the dots, we can make a lot of money. The second news story I want to go through goes hand in hand with the previous one, which is I'm sure a lot of people are aware of now, is Binance listing True USD, which is designed to be a stablecoin. What it's designed to do is to match the US dollar's valuation at a 1-to-1 ratio. Sounds familiar, right? We all know about the controversy surrounding USD Tether, where they claimed for every USD Tether token that was created, released, was backed by one paper fiat dollar. However, we have been very skeptical, and if you have been skeptical, this has been the right kind of attitude, because we believe, and a lot of other people believe in the space currently, that this tends not to be the case. So what Binance have done, what they've done is they've released this new crypto coin, which basically is a smart contract that issues tokens to a 1-to-1 ratio and sends them to an Ethereum address associated with the account holder. So what they attempt to do is they attempt to make a stablecoin. What this does for the whole entire crypto market is that they want to entice a certain type of investor again, and they want to smooth out volatility and just kind of entice these new traders. Obviously, by adding stability to the crypto world and enticing these new traders, this is a win-win for everybody. And this is another reason why we believe we are one step closer to mass adoption, and we are also one step closer to a massive year of gains. The next one, the particular actual news story is not as important. However, I just wanted to go through this quickly. I found this very interesting. This part here is that in the past few months, Coinbase has poached key executives from LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and the New York Stock Exchange. It says already this year, Coinbase has doubled the size of its full-time engineering team and overhauled much of the platform's code, which resulted in a 1,000% increase in its capacity. So again and again, Coinbase seem to be dominating the crypto world in terms of offering certain resources, and they are just killing the whole entire crypto world. A lot of competition for Coinbase. Obviously, there's a lot of apps that are starting to release themselves, and obviously in this space, competition is healthy competition. If new technologies are being made, enabling it for everyday retail traders like you and me, enabling us to invest a lot more easier with less volatility and less risk, it's a win-win all around. Moving on to the next news story, we actually did a post on this on Instagram, is the first time officially a bank is actually going to be using Bitcoin to send cross-border payments. Obviously, this is the Argentinian bank Banco Mas Ventas. I do apologize if I did not say that correctly. However, they have launched a plan to allow its customers to send cross-border payments via the Bitcoin network. In our eyes, this is massive news. Since Bitcoin's inception, banks have been fully against cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin itself. Obviously, because it is censorship resistant and it is decentralized, and it is a decentralized cryptocurrency, meaning that no company or government and even bank can control what happens with Bitcoin and its actual blockchain. So, is this a surprise to us? Not really. A lot of these banks and institutions, they are coming together now and starting to realize that they cannot beat Bitcoin, so they may as well join it. This does not mean that banks and governments cannot control and also manipulate cryptocurrencies. We are not saying that, because we strongly believe that they do. However, what we should see, especially in a lot of countries that have a crisis currently going on with their actual currency, with their fiat currency, what we are seeing right now, we are seeing a lot of cryptocurrencies. We are seeing on Bitcoin, they are sucking up dead paper fiat money that is overinflated and overprinted, and it is sucking it up like a black hole. Eventually, we strongly believe we will see the slow transition from fiat currency to digital currency, and we believe news stories like this just goes to show you that we are one step closer for mass adoption. Massive news, because like we said, this is the first time a bank is actually going to be using Bitcoin to send cross-border payments. So what this also means is that they are going to stop using SWIFT as for international remittances. Yet again, that is a massive major news. Moving on to the next story. This is a few days old. However, these are in no particular order, if I did not mention. However, these are just news stories I feel are massive news, just generally for the whole entire space. So, if you wasn't aware, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss are the two twins that are heavily involved in the space. They are the creators of the Gemini exchange, and ever since, from what we can remember, they have always been in the news, always trying to get blockchain and cryptocurrencies made aware to the public. So what they're trying to do is they have recently won a patent for settling exchange traded products with digital currencies including Bitcoin, Ripple and Ethereum. This is a massive development because just a year ago the SEC had rejected their bid to list a Bitcoin tied ETF on the BATS BZX exchange. However, the iconic Winklevoss twins may have just met their match. So again, if you was not aware, the Winklevoss twins from many years ago have been fighting, hand and nail every single day to basically, get cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, just on everybody's radar. And obviously they had applied for a ETF recently, which had been rejected, but they've won a patent for settling exchange traded products. I'm not going to go into detail why this is a good thing. Obviously you guys can take what you need and discard the rest and do a little bit more research for yourselves. However, this is major news. The next news story just caught my eye today, not as important, but here we've got MIT are testing smart contracts powered Bitcoin Lightning Network. So this was revealed to Coinbase last week. The university has been quietly experimenting use cases for Bitcoin's Lightning Network. One of the showcases how it might be combined with smart contracts to not only handle millions of transactions, but to do with a great degree of complexity. So obviously Bitcoin has a big scalable problem. The transactions per minute or per 10 minutes isn't as as expected of what the actual what Bitcoin should originally was going to be doing for the whole entire world. However, with the introduction of Lightning Network, you never know, years down the line, then the Bitcoin community or the whole entire crypto community may come together once again. And what they may do is they may add in a new technology or a new protocol, which could also speed up transactions or make it more scalable. So even if the university MIT, one of the most well-known universities in the whole entire world, are actually indulging and actually getting involved into cryptocurrencies, this caught my eye in particular is because it just shows that everybody is going mad over cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, believe it or not. The next one I want to go through is Mike Novogratz. If you're not aware of Mike Novogratz, he is a big Bitcoin and cryptocurrency advocate, and what he attempts to do is he plans to publicly have a traded crypto merchant bank, which will enable for people to basically invest and transact in his kind of firm. If you was not aware, Mike Novogratz was singing and shouting about Bitcoin when it was trading in and around $80 to $90. So as you can imagine, he has been around for a very long time. So his company Galax aims to build a best-in-class full-service institutional quality merchant banking business in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. So it's going to be active, according to this news article, in trading, principal investing, asset management and advisory work. So yet again, going through the previous news story that I went through, what it seems to be happening is there, obviously, remember at the start of Bitcoin's inception and the whole in cryptocurrency market in general, we had a lot of libertarians, anti-government movements coming together, investing into the new technology that was Bitcoin and blockchain, and they felt this was a movement. It started off as like a sort of an experiment, and it's just manifested itself into a test and a threat to the current financial system that we have today. So the point I'm trying to make is that as the years have progressed and gone on and on, it seems as though Bitcoin has stood a good test of time, many ups and downs. We've had a lot of major pullbacks, and then we've had a lot of rallies to the upside, a lot of highs and lows. However, all the news stories that I've been showing you, I hope you kind of get the perspective and the hints that I'm trying to make, is that now a lot of these institutions and these big players in the space, what they are attempting to do is they are attempting to draw a new type of investor into the crypto market. If you're going to be enticing a new type of investor, which could be institutional money, more liquidity, if we potentially get ETFs, if Coinbase is new kind of services that they're going to, target in the rich, if all these kind of, scenarios follow through and are successful, we will see a crazy amount of liquidity get pumped into the whole entire crypto world. So why am I bringing all these news stories to you guys' attention? The main reason why I'm trying to get this to your guys' attention is that what I'm trying to, the vibe, the point I'm trying to make is that when we, this does not reflect current market price. I hope everybody understands that. I understand that I'm giving you all these news stories and I'm jazzing it up. I'm making it sound, as really, really good and enticing to everybody, but it actually really is. A lot of people are saying the crypto market is dead because of the price, but remember, we do not always just look at price. We are attempting to look at the bigger picture, the grand scheme of things. So when we're uncovering layers and layers upon layers, if it doesn't happen in the next few months, I'm sure it will happen by the end of this year, but we are going to see a massive explosion. We're going to see a massive explosion in price, in technology, in new crypto exchanges, new wallets, new security that's going to come into the space. Currently, at the time of this shooting this video, there are people coming together, bumping heads, using their ideas, exchanging ideas, and they are coming up with ways to make the whole entire crypto world easier, more efficient, and more enticing for all types of investors. The last news story is quite outdated. However, I just want to touch this because lately there's been a lot of arguments against Bitcoin, especially to do with Bitcoin, to suggest that Bitcoin has no real value. Yes, Bitcoin has never, Bitcoin has never ever survived a financial crisis or a bubble. A lot of people say Bitcoin is actual bubble, and they say it actually has no actual use case. However, crisis currency, the actual news story isn't actually very important, but the headline is actually something that entices me to explain in detail. So Bitcoin is the new crisis currency. So back in 2013, we had Cyprus. A lot of people were using Bitcoin to get their money out of the country. So in financial struggle, it was used to get their money out of the country. Another example is China. We are well aware that the government overlooks a lot of people's money. They have a control over a lot of people's money. They have a central point of control. So a lot of Chinese investors, what they were doing is they were using Bitcoin as a means to get their money out of the country. Obviously, this was a very smart and intelligent move. Obviously, the Asian markets for many years actually was the main stability and the reason why the cryptocurrency market was thriving for so many years. In Zimbabwe, obviously, the overinflation, the whole entire currency was very overinflated. So people were turning to Bitcoin as a sort of crisis currency. We saw this in Venezuela, and we also saw this in South Africa. So a lot of the countries are starting to adopt Bitcoin, or they are attempting to create their own type of cryptocurrency. So what this kind of, again, like I said, what Max Kaiser likes to suggest, that what is actually going on now is that cryptocurrencies are sucking up, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are sucking up dead fiat paper money to in a black hole. Obviously, Bitcoin, finite supply, cannot be overprinted, has digital scarcity. A lot of power goes into mining Bitcoin. So a lot of people could say there is a massive use case. We wouldn't call Bitcoin a store of value. Very volatile asset. We can get 10 to 20% movements per day. Like today, for example, we've got a 7% move to the downside. So it's a very volatile asset. However, store of value, no. A means an exchange, maybe, possibly, but time will tell, and obviously suggest to us what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies can potentially do. So moving on to the last part of this video, I just wanted to go through our perspective on things and what we can actually see. So currently right now we are trading in and around $7,500 US. Why is this a good thing? So as you can see here, the MA here acting as dynamic support and dynamic resistance. We can see the price action actually respecting it and actually being unable to break it to the upside. So now, as we can see, we've had a nice little correction since for a few days, and Bitcoin is pulling down to correcting to the downside. So if we look left, structure leaves clues. We can see around the region of $7,500 we've got some structure here. If we break and close below again, our next target for Bitcoin is going to be in and around $6,500. As you can see here, again, structure leaves clues. I've highlighted this zone here because then we have the next level of $6,000. $6,000 again. Nobody needs to sweat this or actually start to start panicking. Everybody needs to be put at ease and actually look at this as a very good sign. If we are correcting and pulling back to these major levels of support or resistance, it's important to understand that we must anticipate Bitcoin's next moves. Remember, Bitcoin holds the key to this market. So if we see this nice little pullback to around 6.5 or even 6,000, we know the whole entire market is going to follow suit. So what this actually means is we want to be accumulating as much as possible while the market presents to us this opportunity, and the opportunity being given us discounted prices on some of the best cryptocurrencies there is in our ecosystem. So we take each day as it comes, but there is a lot of bearish momentum to the downside, as it suggests, as the chart suggests. I'm not going to go through the nitty-gritty details and how we've actually come up with this. However, there's a high probability that we can see Bitcoin retesting around 6,000. So the hands that are actually controlling this market, a lot of people may say to me, okay, so you've gone through all them news stories, which sounds very positive for the entire crypto market, so why are we actually correcting or even moving sideways and being stagnant? Recently we've had tax season, so a lot of people were selling their cryptos to pay their their capital gains, especially in the US. However, now what we will start to see is we're going to start to see a massive shift to we're going to see more positive news stories being released by these these media outlets, creating FOMO, creating positivity everywhere, and we're going to see this for when the summer comes into play. We're going to see positive news stories everywhere around the world. And what this will do, this will entice a lot more traders to start investing and start pumping more money into the market. So why is this all good opportunity, and why is this actually happening? Well, if you actually follow our content, our YouTube channel, you will see that obviously the whole entire market is very, very manipulated. So currently right now, if they want to drive the price down to even if they wanted to drive it down to 5k, they will drive it down to 5k. If they wanted to drive it down to 3,000, they can drive it down to 3,000. That's just the way this market is. Unfortunately, there's nothing you and I can do. That's just the way the market goes. However, if we try to think like these big elites, these big wallet holders, we can stay one step ahead of the entire game. So like we said, if we look to the left, we can see some nice key levels of support and resistance. So our next key level that we should potentially be heading for, the chart suggesting this price action, price never lies. So what we can potentially see is we can see a nice little pullback to the 6.5k region. If we see anything else, we will let you guys know and keep you updated. But I just wanted to show you this. So we've been calling this since the 1st of May. So the 1st of May, we saw Bitcoin testing around, you know, $10,000. However, we were suggesting everybody that we needed to get a break and close above 10,000, which is an evil handle psychological number. So we was calling this from, you know, the start of this month. Everybody was getting excited, but we wasn't getting our hopes up, because we are technical analysis, and we break the charts down, and we use our technical analysis with alignment with our fundamental analysis. And we was not ever suggesting that we was ever in a bull run. However, as it says here, and as you can see in the actual picture, if we break 10k, we break 12k, then, you know, there's high possibilities that we could, you know, be in a bull run again. In the actual next Instagram post that we actually posted back in December, is that what we can actually potentially see happening is that when we do surpass these levels of 12k, even 14k as well on Bitcoin per se, we have a high possibility of the next all-time highs being passed of around 20,000, and then we seeing a new all-time high of 22,500 being met. So we wouldn't put a time limit on this, because like we said, unfortunately we cannot predict what goes on behind the scenes in this market. However, we are very confident that by the end of this year we will see 22,500 met. So we've been calling this since December the 28th of 2017 last year. However, please guys, do not let current market conditions put you off. See this as a good thing. Do not invest more than you can afford. If we do get that nice little pullback to 6,000, remember, a lot of the altcoins are going to follow suit. So this can be a very, very good opportunity to acquire more coins and build on your portfolio. Remember, I'm not sure if we're ever going to get an opportunity like this ever again. Because I believe in the summer, because of all these news stories and what's actually going on behind the scenes, I believe that we are going to witness the biggest bull run we have ever witnessed in the whole entire crypto market. We are going to see massive amount of gains. We are going to see stupid gains into this market that no one has ever witnessed before. So remember, we want to accumulate as much as we go along, because this opportunity may never ever be presented with this opportunity ever again. So please see this as a positive thing. Yes, we are correcting. Yes, we are pulling back, but invest what you can afford. Detach from your investments. You know, it's not good to always, to be, focusing all the time on cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency isn't the only financial instrument that we can invest in. So remember, guys, we must see this as a positive thing, because me personally and the team at Everything Cryptocurrencies, we're not sure if, when we do get this massive bull run again, which should, we believe will be happening during the summer or just after summer, we don't think we're ever going to get this opportunity again. So there's a nice opportunity to get these gains in, to build on your portfolio. And I hope this video kind of gave you a perspective. I didn't want to give too much away of our knowledge. Remember, we've been doing this for years and years. We've been studying the market, and we are just giving this knowledge away. I hope you understood, our perspective, and I hope you understand that current market conditions is not a reflection on the entire crypto market, because there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And that will be reflected, you will soon see that being reflected in the next few months. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and that's all from me today and tonight, and I hope to see you in the next video.